But Rana, let's say I'm starting today. OSCP is not what I'm going to take or study for necessarily. So a common question, and I see it's on the list of questions that you've got here, is like, how do I get started? Is there like sort of a roadmap that you would recommend? Like, let's say I want to become a pen tester. That's what I want to do. What do I do? Give me the path. How do I get there?
So great question. And I get that question a lot. Again, personally for me, it was more self-taught because there wasn't any resources, and there's advantages to it being self-taught because this way you're more likely to retain stuff and you're more likely to research stuff. But the disadvantage with that is that it took me a really long time to be able to get my OSCP certification because every time I didn't understand something, I had to Google it. And then there's a ton of resources. Some of them are correct online, others are not correct. And then you have to kind of like filter through all that information to understand what is useful and what is not useful. So there's, an advantage and disadvantage to the way I did it. But since I got started, since I completed the OSCP certification, a few courses came out that are affordable by other creators, and I would recommend those courses. So for you as an individual that wants to get into pen testing, what I would recommend is a course called Practical Ethical Hacking by the Cyber Mentor. So the person that created that course is called Heath Adams, and he goes by at the Cyber Mentor on Twitter. His course is extremely cheap, and it kind of condenses all that information, all that foundational knowledge that you need in one course. So that's the first course that I would recommend. And then there's two other courses that I would recommend, Windows Privilege Escalation and Linux Privilege Escalation. Again, you could get those from either the Cyber Mentor or from another content creator called Tiberius. I'm not getting any money from recommending these courses. These are courses that I've personally done, and I wish I had when I was getting started. Once you finish these three courses, I think you would have a solid foundation in pen testing. And now all you need is a little bit more practice. So you do get hands-on practice in those courses, but I don't think it's enough. And so the next thing that I would recommend is enrolling in a platform like Try Hack Me or like Hack the Box, and then solving boxes there until you're comfortable. And what do I mean by comfortable? I mean being able to get an IP address for a box and then knowing exactly what you need to do in order to identify the entry point into the box so that you could get a regular user account on the box, and then from there escalate your privileges to root. Now, once you reach that point, I think you're ready to go for the OSCP and practice in the OSCP labs, which I think is really valuable. So I know depending on the person that you talk to, they might agree or disagree with doing the OSCP. I'm a huge proponent for doing the OSCP certification because the value that it adds from other labs is, or from other platforms, is that it actually gives you a realistic environment. So there's 3 sets of networks. You start off with like the DMZ network. There's like an IT network, and then there's another, I believe, like an admin network. I can't remember for sure, but that experience of being able to hop from one network to another where all the boxes are linked together, and then like certain artifacts in one of the boxes is able to give you access to another box. That's how the real world works. And so I definitely recommend going for that certification once you're comfortable to do so.